It has been 13 long years since we saw Ryu Hayabusa in action, and honestly, it really is about time that he came back. Ninja Gaiden 4 is finally on the horizon, and what's wild is that this time, Team Ninja isn't alone. They've actually teamed up with both Platinum Games and Xbox to deliver something that feels both familiar but completely fresh. The fast, fluid, brutal action we all remember is going to be back, but with a brand new modern twist that could easily make this the next big revival within the action genre. So today what I've done is I've put a list together of the 10 things that you need to know before you pick up Ninja Gaiden 4 this October. With that, my name is Fletcher, and this is Xbox Nation, and let's dive right into it. This is a direct sequel to Ninja Gaiden 3, and it really kicks off in the ruins of a futuristic Tokyo. The city's been torn apart by the return of the Dark Dragon, and the aftermath of his rampage has left the world in utter chaos. We then meet Yukumo, a young ninja from a rival clan that follows a Raven theme this time. He's of course got his own agenda, his own fighting style, and a mysterious link to Ryu himself. The two of them are meant to share their kind of similar goals, but their methods couldn't be more different, and it really is a setup that feels tense and personal from the very start. The twist though, well, the so-called peace that Ryu once brought has been shattered and cursed by a rainfall known as the Rain of Dark Rot. It's poisonous, it's endless, and it means the Dark Dragon isn't truly gone. So yeah, the stakes in this one are sky high right out the gates. One of the biggest new faces here though has to be Yukumo himself. This guy is no sidekick, he's actually a full-blown co-protagonist with its own deadly technique called the Bloodraven form. It essentially lets him manipulate blood on his weapons, shaping it into blades, projectiles, and even defensive barriers. Of course that means it's going to be very stylish, gory, and it really fits right into that sort of kind of over-the-top action that Ninja Gaiden fans have really lived for. How his story ties into Ryu's isn't entirely clear as of yet, but it does sound like the two might start out as rivals before they're forced to team up to stop the chaos unleashed by the Divine Dragon Order. If you remember, that is the shady group behind the Dark Dragon's resurrection. If you've ever played a Ninja Gaiden game before, then you know they really don't mess around. The franchise really does have a reputation for being brutally hard, and Ninja Gaiden 4 proudly carries that tradition forward. The infamous Master Ninja mode is going to come back, featuring one-hit kills, smart enemies, and swarms that punish even the smallest of mistakes. But here's the good news this time around, you can actually switch between difficulty levels on the fly. So whether you're a long-time veteran of the series or completely new to it, you can ease in and find your own rhythm before cranking things up to 11. Beat the game once though, and of course you will unlock that Master Ninja mode, which changes enemy placements, beefs up the AI quite a lot, and obviously then turns every fight into a test of sheer skill and also patience. You also cannot change the difficulty once you begin that Master Ninja mode, so just know you're going to be in for one hell of a time right out the gates. On the other end of the spectrum though, there's a new mode called Hero Mode. Think of it as your set of training wheels into the world of Ninja Gaiden. It slightly turns down the challenge and automates some defensive moves, so things like auto-blocking and dodging at critical moments will be automatic. It's not going to be completely easy though. It isn't going to be a sort of story mode, sort of hand-holding experience, but it is designed to help you learn the flow of combat and also the timing of different combos without being crushed every 5 minutes. Once you've got the hang of it though, you can then turn it off and see what you're really made of, but it really is ideally a mode for all of you players who want to go in and just experience the story of Yukumo as he rises the ranks to Master Ninja. If you do want to refine your skills though, then I do have some good news this time around, as Ninja Gaiden 4 finally adds a proper training mode. That's right, you can now practice combos, parries and techniques in a safe environment before taking them out into the field. It's something that the series has needed for quite a long time, and it's going to be an absolute lifesaver for all of you who are trying to master the game's new perfect parry system. Speaking of which, good luck with that, as perfect parries are tougher here than in most games within this franchise. The timing window is razor thin, and the fact that you're often surrounded by multiple enemies means that one mistimed deflect could be your last. It really is going to separate the true masters from the rest of us, and I'm quite keen to see how people really play it off on the hardest difficulty. Now, what's really interesting though is the philosophy behind the entire design of Ninja Gaiden 4. Team Ninja has talked a lot about the 3 core pillars that shape the entire game, that being adversity, cruelty, and constant change. With that, you can feel those ideas not just in the story, but within the gameplay itself. Adversity is built into every fight, and that means you're constantly tested. Then we have cruelty in the world itself, and it's obviously drenched in the reign of a dead god. And then the highlight of constant change comes through in how combat evolves, forcing you to switch weapons, adapt to new enemy types, and think on your feet. Those three pillars are all about the flow. You're not just meant to mash buttons here, you're meant to become the true Master Ninja. One of the coolest new features tied to that idea though is the dynamic enemy scaling. Instead of static AI patterns like we've seen in previous entries, enemies actually react to how you're playing. So if you're dominating, they will get more aggressive, they will start mixing up their own attacks and even change their positioning mid-battle. It looks to keep the fights pretty unpredictable and then prevents the usual sort of hack and slash repetition that kills that replay value. It means that every encounter feels like a living test of your current skill level and is going to be rather interesting. But this game is not all about his blood and blades, as there is some beauty in the brutality as well. The new photo mode will let you capture your most cinematic kills, your slickest dodges, or even the game's stunning environments that's drenched in rain and neon. I know some people have already been sharing some jaw-dropping shots from early previews of the games, and it really is shaping up to be one of the most stylish looking action titles of this generation. Now, for anyone who's been wondering about Ryu, well, yes, he is definitely back, and he's also going to be a playable character. While Yakumo will take center stage within the main campaign, Ryu will start in a new Trials mode, and that essentially lets you replay levels, take on the different bosses within the game, and earn some pretty unique rewards. He's also got his own spin-on power-ups as well, with something called Dragon Gleam mode that parallels Yakumo's Bloodraven abilities. And if that's not enough for you, more weapons for Ryu are already confirmed as post-launch DLC. So whether you're a die-hard fan or just missed the old days of slicing demons in half mid-air, there's plenty of reasons to jump back in as the original legend. For all of you performance junkies out there though, yes, Ninja Gaiden 4 will run up to 120 frames per second on the Xbox Series X, for those of you with compatible displays of course. It's a huge deal, especially for a game that lives and dies by precision and reaction time, and I tell you what, it's going to look bloody glorious. The Series S version though will cap at a lower frame rate, but it still runs pretty smoothly at a sort of 60 FPS experience. I do have to say, if you're on PC as well, you can expect some solid performance as well, assuming you do meet the minimum specs. What I'll do is I'll chuck the specs on screen now, because at minimum you will need an i5 or Ryzen 5 CPU, 16 gigs of RAM, and something around a GTX 1060 or RX 5090 GPU. For the best experience though, they have stated that you should aim for an RTX 2060 Super or even better if you do want that sort of 1080p 60 FPS sweet spot with everything cranked up to 11. With that though, Ninja Gaiden 4 does drop on the 21st of October, and it will be available day one on Xbox Game Pass if you're an Ultimate or PC subscriber. If you do pre-order though, it does come with some slick extras. The Dark Dragon Descendant skin for Yakumo if you grab the standard edition, and for those of you going deluxe, you also get the bonus ninja coins, extra weapon skins, and even a traditional Ryu outfit that'll hit fans right in that nostalgia spot. It's going to be the perfect blend of old and new, just like the game itself, and I can't wait for the game to drop. So yes, Ninja Gaiden 4 isn't just a comeback, it really is going to be a statement of this new action era. It's proof that high-skill, high-speed action games still have a place within the modern era, and I'm so bloody excited. Between the dual protagonists, the adaptive AI, and the beautiful but deadly Tokyo setting, alongside the sheer weight of its legacy, this is shaping up to be one of the most exciting releases of the past year.